Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We do have this
Third,
penultimate match that we will be displaying today. This is the third and fourth place between Comfy 2014 versus the
C8 Nam. Yep.
C8 Nam.
and we have bands coming out quick. Nidalee, not surprising. Kale, not surprising. Ari, a little surprising. Syndra too. So, kind of surprising that Syndra is seeing bands, considering she actually, in the LCS and otherwise, hasn't been performing that, especially today, hasn't been performing that great. Rengar, I don't know. People have started banning him in solo queue. He has the ability to kind of jump and murder someone, but as soon as he can't jump on and murder someone, he's really worthless. So, I don't think he's really ban worthy in my personal preference. And he hasn't been putting up that great of numbers, but he can be very scary. And maybe there's a really good Rengar on the other team. Braum, obviously, last ban, not surprising at all. That guy's a monster. Ari, surprisingly, that's got to be a targeted ban.
I think they targeted versus Nightwish. It looks like they not Nightwish.
You mean
Air Snipe. Air Snipe.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Because Nidalee was, I know, his top pick last tournament, and I assume these are all targeted bans versus Air Snipe.
We'll ban out Air Snipe, and he was definitely the weakest link in the last game too. So it might not be a bad idea to just target him, especially because if you can ban out a mid. Yeah. It's really, really hard for them to have the impact on the game they need. And right now, mid has a tremendous amount of impact on the game, almost as much as jungle.
So Lux actually going for the mid.
That's a little surprising. Lux is not a very popular pick. She's just, all of her abilities are skill shots. You have to hit the ball for her to be good.
Yep,
and
I assume she's mid and not a support.
It's almost certainly mid. She's a little bit weaker out of support. The only reason I can think of it is, Lux is the last AP that Air Snipe plays well.
Yeah.
So if you just take that away from him, he just probably has no AP. He has no good mids, which would be kind of surprising because all the AD mids are still available.
I assume he prefers the AP pokers.
Yeah. Well, if you basically need to get Ryze right now.
Yeah.
If you're putting an AD mid. Just because you don't have enough magic damage otherwise, and you just, the enemy team builds a Frozen Heart, 3 people build Randuins, and the tank builds a Thorn Mail as well, and you just, can't kill anything.
So Comfy did decide to go with that Lee Sin as his jungler. That was his staple the last tournament.
Yeah, played amazingly on it, looked really great, and, a lot of the pros agree, too, that Lee Sin is the jungler right now. His teamfight presence is great. Yeah, Jax was open, though. That is, with all those weird bans or banning out a lane, this is what happens. And it actually works out for the people banning out a lane because they get Jax, third pick. That's real big because that champion is monstrous. They don't have top yet. I would bet on a Ryze pick here.
You think Ryze?
I think Ryze. Ryze is good against Jax. Ryze scales really well late.
He's just someone who's Shyvana still.
Shyvana doesn't match up well against Jax.
I still think I'm going to go with Shyvana, but we'll see.
Shyvana is Pablo's good go-to champion. I think we're getting teased with a Kog'Maw here. I would not want to pick a Kog'Maw against Lux, Twitch, Jax, and 2 blanks. We're getting teased. Getting T-mode.
And anyway, the Thresh is the support. We didn't discuss that, and we do have the Twitch for the AD carry. So Twitch is, like we said before, he has very potent AoE damage, and it is mixed too, because he does a little bit of magic, a lot of AD. He does a lot of AD.
Yeah, he's a lot of AD, and this is with that Lux pick early. That's it's pretty impressive that they get 2 very contested picks, second and third.
Yeah.
In Twitch and Jax. Lee Sin makes a lot of sense, but Thresh isn't that contested. So maybe their support's just the most comfortable on Thresh, or they feel like the Thresh mobility combined with Lee Sin mobility is very, very strong. Looks like we're going to get a Vayne here. Vayne's not bad. She has decent kiting ability against the likes of
Twitch.
Jax, but she doesn't do well at all against Twitch.
Yeah.
He bullies the crap out of her because he has longer range than her. He actually has longer range than her.
Yeah.
So he gets to poke her with longer range, and his early damage burst is better, so she's just not going to win early, and he gets to stealth on her if he's ahead at all and just murder her. Because if he's behind her, she can't condemn him away from her. She has to condemn him behind her and then run that way, or run deeper into the lane and get murdered.
So it looks like they're still figuring
Nautilus?
out
No, it's not going to be any of these. They're teasing me. I love Nautilus. Oh, man.
Old bear.
I have a deep love for Nautilus.
God. I'm dying.
Anyways,
I'm dying.
yes. Oh,
Save
bear.
me.
I do love some bears.
Save me,
too.
guys.
Yep.
Anyway, looks like Lulu is going to be the support though. Malphite. Oh, I love seeing
Yeah,
some
we're
Malphite.
not going to see Malphite. Gragas is possible. Wow. We just get to see everything, don't we? Nasus, come on. I don't like Nasus.
I'm gonna guess Jungle Heimer.
Heimer?
Yeah.
The Dinger! No. Zyra. I love Zyra. We can have some Zyra.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
she's
can
good.
get behind this.
And Shiv. They're taking Shiv away from Pablo. They have the Rise already for Pablo. Although Rise can go mid. It's not awful. Who would be up against? I don't know how the Rise versus Lux matchup works. Rise kind of has to walk at you to do anything, and anyone that has to walk at Lux is pretty rough on them.
Yeah.
But with the range buff on his Q like a while back that made him playable. Ooh, double APs. They're not going to have a guarantee. They're not going to have a real tank if they do this, and they don't actually have a ton of poke. But he gives them the wave clear they need.
Oh, they're going for it.
What happened? They dropped out of game. Either it was a mispick or someone like dropped. We're probably going to keep our. His runes were bugged.
Okay.
So same band, same picks is almost certainly what we're going to do. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So yeah, quick band, same picks. And they're just fixing a rune page. And that's good. So anyways, we're gonna have to run back through champ select, but it's gonna be real quick.
Oh
yeah, we can't actually type in this, so we're not gonna be able to ask them to restart. They remade already. They're back in champ select.
It's just you can just keep it on us, and then
yeah.
Anyway, so yep, they're currently remaking the game. You guys can't see it right now, but it's going to be the same picks and bans that we last saw, and well, not the same bands, but the same picks, and that was going to happen because there was a little bit of a glitch with one of the summons.
Yeah, someone's rune pages, it looks like glitched out. So hopefully, I don't think you guys can see anything. We'll get the spectator in as soon as the game starts. I think that's what we're going to do because we don't want to make them remake it a third time. It's just a waste of too much time, and it's getting a little bit late anyways. So, yeah, we should get the... Yeah, we'll have the spectator come in, so you guys aren't going to have vision, but you don't get to see the wonderful 3-minute spectate delay cooldown with us. But you do get to hear our wonderful voices while we, geek out about
see our
their
beautiful
teams.
faces.
That's true. They are pretty beautiful. But anyways, these teams, Zyra, Zyra has like the best disengage in the game with her ult plus that root. Lux also has good disengage with the bind. So the thing is, there isn't really any hard engage aside from like that weird Lee Sin hard engage
and the thresh. The
thresh hook. Yeah, you can but that's really all they have. So I think the Zyra disengage is much stronger than the engage off of Comfy here.
They could do some zone stuff with Ziggs. Like Ziggs
Yeah,
can
the thing is
force
they don't have any
engages,
support
but-
aside from Ziggs.
Yeah.
It's all Ziggs. Ziggs
Yeah.
is like the only guy. Like Rise has to ult to clear waves.
Yeah.
Vayne is awful at clearing waves. So it's kind of a weird team comp for Comfy here. I think they want to get picks early or get picks late. And I think
if they get to late game,
Rise gets
C8.
big, and if Lee Sin can get them ahead, it's going to be really rough. If he keeps Jax down, especially. The thing is, they're going to have trouble with objective control because fighting in close quarters is going to be awful.
Yeah.
Fighting in those corridors, in those jungle corridors against Lux, Twitch, Zyra's going to hit her roots on multiple people. You're going to be fighting through slow plants the entire time. Not to mention her ult is just going to knock up your entire team. Twitch gets to spray and pray everybody because you're channeled. Lux, it's much easier for her to hit all her abilities when you're walking in a corridor the width of her final spark.
And Twitch, he's got his casks.
Yeah, or
like
rat-a-tat-tat. Or whatever. Yeah, it's rat-a-tat-tat now. It used to be spray and pray.
They have the ability to group people up a little bit too with Shyvana's push. She can push
Yeah,
them
Shyvana's
together.
push, Jax. Well, and also those guys are going to be big. You're going to have to, they're just going to be on top of you. Objective control is going to be really, really rough. What Purple Team needs to do is they need to get picks, and they need to avoid 5v5 team fights or chasing in the jungle. Because that's going to be really bad. Open lanes, it's going to be a little bit better for them.
In the jungle, they do have some safeguards. If Lee Sin can get some nice kicks, then they will have some opportunities.
Some safeguards, eh?
Stop it. Unintentional. Anyway, but they do have some ability to lock down these champions a little bit because they do have some AoEs with those that Rise, his ultimate. If he does manage to get into that range, he can dish out a ton of damage. The problem that they will have, though, is just more consistently, the C8 is going to be way better.
Well, if, would you say, with those safeguards in the jungle, if Lee Sin really hits those dragon kicks, it would be crippling to them?
Oh, my God.
Do you think my jokes are resonating with the viewers?
I think they're all facepalming right now.
That's fair.
Maybe even gouging their eyes out.
Well, if they gouge their eyes out, all they need to do is send out a sonic wave, and it'll help them see.
Okay, I'm dying.
Anyways, these Lee Sin...
Your jokes are in vain.
You would need iron will to tolerate all these Lee Sin puns?
No. I've moved on from Lee Sin puns. We're now going on to other... I've rose... You might say I've risen above it.
Well, I need to get them all. So one could say you're rising above the tempest of Lee Sin puns that are coming out. I got them all. That was important.
You're like tough. Flaying my mind right now.
Oh, man. Yeah, these puns certainly are a death sentence. I feel like I'm trapped in a box with you.
We're done.
Fine, taking a dark passage out of Punsville into the real game.
So we are at the loading stage of the game. It will be up here in about a few seconds or so. So that way you don't have to deal with our puns and awfulness that is currently ongoing. But in the meantime, we're going to have to stick with it.
We will?
Until we burn out.
Oh, I see. We've descended into a worse area with more bad puns and dragons.
This is true.
Well, there's two of us, so I guess it's basically a twin strike of awful puns.
Oh, God.
Yep. Just getting entangled here.
Stuck
in a mire of plants. We should be. I don't know why we're still going. It's embarrassing. We've run out of things to say about the teams. We really can just say ability names in awful
puns. But it should be. So this is for third and fourth place. The winning team will get that 1600 RP, while the losing team will get only 800 RP.
Yeah.
So this is for a little bit of goodies. Hopefully they buy some nice skins. 800 RP. It's a pretty decent way towards some of those skins.
Yeah, it's no slouch. The price is right. You had to spend your afternoon playing games to win RP?
Yeah.
Man, it's got to be rough. Anyways, so, and we'll have the awesome winners match, which looks to be great, between Xanark and Apes and Girls Jude right after this match. Yep. And that one should be excellent. Both those teams have looked great in our tournaments previously.
Yep. And they're
great
consistent.
Veterans.
They play very consistently.
They play consistent. So. They play great games. They're very entertaining. Sometimes they laugh at their enemies. Look at you, Girls Jude. Gotta cut that crap out. But in any case, should be pretty interesting. Nothing interesting on summoners at all. 2 teleports. I lied. Lux has teleport. This could be awesome. Lux Gang's bottom.
I really wanted to teleport on Twitch. I want to see all teleports.
4 teleports and a smite. Or 5 teleports. It's just smite teleport Shyvana. I mean, people have done it. Like Yi. Yi used to do it.
I know.
Back in Feral Flare days? Yeah. But, yeah.
You mean back in, 3 weeks ago?
Was Feral Flare being good only 3 weeks ago?
3 or 4 weeks?
Like a month. Yeah, I think it's closer to a month.
Anyway.
Back
in my day.
Back in the day.
When
we
I
had to
used
walk
to do,
uphill both ways to our jumble camps through 10 feet of snow.
What was the name of that? That stupidly good item. It was Gold Generation Mana.
Innervating Locket?
Innervating Locket.
Yeah! Oh man, that we can talk about Innervating
anything but Heart of Gold and Innervating Locket.
Oh, I love talking about Innervating Locket to people that haven't, that are like, they don't know what it is. You're just like, so this is what this item is. It gives you health and mana regen, and it gives you health and mana regen when you use an item, and it gives you cooldown reduction, and it gives you health and mana, and it costs like 1900 gold. Udyr had infinite mana. Just unkillable Udyr. DCs, please. Please. I definitely should leave. Yeah, they do have the pause option. They haven't taken it yet. Hopefully the connections can come back immediately. I really hope we don't have a remake.
Yeah.
So they really should pause it at this point, but we don't have control over that. So we'll see. Purple team's invading. They're camping on this red, which will be really rough because if Zyra's not there, there's no way they can contest it.
No.
They can possibly win a 4v4.
There's
now
the
pause
pause.
comes out.
So.
Hopefully, Smitten Kitten will be back shortly.
Looks like it's gonna be a quick pause.
Yep.
So
it should just be a little bit, but you also don't want you want to make sure she's up and moving because you don't want to even getting back to lane 5 or 10 seconds late is really, really detrimental. As we've talked about, how granular the levels are in this game, how awful it is to get back even a little bit late to miss even one melee minion worth of XP.
And the higher up you go in the skill level, the more expansive are these gaps in skill level. Even just missing 1 or 2 CS every now and then.
It looks like Jax is calling for a lot of trash talk in all chat, so we'll see. If both teams are into it, if it's all in good fun, I'm all in. You know, that's great. We can have a good time.
Then maybe we can trash talk too. We can talk some dirty smack.
We can talk some dirty smack, but I don't think it's a good idea for us to do so.
Agreed.
So, we try and keep it respectable and reasonable. And Zyra's gonna ward over the wall. Yep. But not into the bush. Did she fail ward? I don't know. We can check that real quick. Yeah, she didn't get into the bush. So, quick facts. If you're right up against the wall, you can ward into that red bush from the bowling pit. But you have to be right up against the wall and you have to just max range it. But you can get it right into the edge of the bush. And that's really good. Lane's pretty normal, no jungle invades. Shiv started blue, actually, but she's gonna walk over a ward, so they're gonna know she's at red. Probably not gonna do anything about it. Lee Sin is moving into top jungle, Ziggs isn't in position. Yeah, nothing's gonna happen about that. So we're gonna have a normal jungle start, although Shiv's gonna be bottom. Lee Sin knows he's gonna have a free gank on Jax. Jax is hard to gank. Yeah. Especially with Ryze only having a 0.75 second. Oh, beautiful flash.
Yep.
I don't know if he was dead, but he saved himself a ton of health. Dueling going on bottom.
And nice hook there from Thresh on the rat here. The no condemn, though, to follow it up and actually gets slowed up there by...
Zyra exhausted. Zyra exhausted Vayne. Oh, wow.
Beautiful comeback there from the rat. Manages to do enough damage there, level up, it looked like, and then do the... not expunge, but contaminate.
Yeah, he had been stacking it up, so he got the 2 extra stacks from the cast.
Yeah.
And then the expunge. So he was sitting on a lot of damage there, which was very impressive. Because that level 1 damage on 5 stacked contaminate is a lot. Yeah. I don't know the exact damage, but I know it's very high for a level 1 ability. And that's one of the things. Twitch has a good early game with contaminate. Yeah. And he has a good attack speed buff early off of ambush too. It's a little hard to use, but it's still pretty solid.
And here comes some action up at top lane. We got Lee Sin there.
We have a 2v2. Shiv's too low to really duel this.
And
luckily,
she
Sonic Wave misses.
Yeah, she dropped the ward, caught vision, and immediately ran away.
Yeah, that would have been crippling for her if she'd gotten hit by that Sonic Wave.
Okay. No, we're done with the puns. We're done with the puns.
I just had to get one more final spark in there. We were done. Anyways, so Lee Sin coming in mid. Yeah, this is going to be a good gank. She needs to dodge this. Oh, no.
Beautiful shadow charge, and most likely going to be dead there. Goes down to Comfy there with the final auto attack, followed up by that resonating strike.
Good air snipe. Very impressive on that satchel charge, being very patient, landing that knockout to guarantee the Lee Sin Q. So even after the flash,
top lane, we missed a little bit of an exchange here, and we'll see if Lee Sin can get the blind kick.
Can he hit the blind kick? He just walks around to guarantee it.
And boom!
Not blind. He had to see it. But brilliant play by Quimpy. And this is what we were talking about with the Lee Sin, why a lot of pros think he's number 1. He has this roaming ability. His wave clear isn't bad either, but he stays high in the jungle with Safeguard and Iron Will.
Yeah.
And but his roaming and mobility is very powerful, and he can kind of safely dive, more than almost any other champ.
Yeah, for sure. And he just has a lot of utility too. He's slippery when he needs to be with the ward hops, and he can get into your back line and get into those high priority targets. Jack's putting out some nice damage here on Ryze, and Ryze hasn't gone back yet. And he actually still has
he's going to teleport right back. There's no way he'd go back here. He'd miss too much. But yeah, he's just going to teleport. We should see it any second. I guess he's gonna wait till he's full. Oh, Jax isn't pushing that hard. He has time. There's the teleport back. So yeah, Jax has double Dorans. Ryze has Ryze has tier plus Ruby Crystal.
Yeah.
That's insane. He must be running like 0921 for the extra gold out of utility tree, because that's like too much gold for what he should have at this point. We'll see. Big fight going on bottom lane.
Nice. That's sentence there.
Yeah.
From the
Exhaust on Twitch will get Vayne out, but Twitch is.
he might be able to get the kill here.
Yeah.
Fire Hazard's taking big damage with the root, and that should be enough. They flash to keep up, and actually Vayne gets the kill. Lee Sin comes in with the safeguard, misses the resonating strike, but does get the
He
cripple.
gets the cripple down.
And down goes
Exhaust
the
is down.
exhaust
He needs
and
to hit
a
this
root.
Q. She needs to dodge it. It's going to be tough. Yeah, she's
Oh,
dead.
but he lands it, and there's the killing spree from Comfy. He is brutalizing this team right
Yeah, and that's beautiful because Vayne gets to sit down and just farm this massive wave instead of being scared of Zyra. So great plays, and Lee Sin just being all over the map, doing all the presence they need. He's behind on farm, but that's fine. You know, he's making presence.
And it looks like you are right. It looks like Ryze decided to go with that heavy defense and utility.
Yeah, the utility, yeah, and like the money's really, really good because he's constantly auto-attacking his enemy. So he's just getting like 3 gold every 10 seconds or so. Lux roaming up top. It doesn't do anything though. Misses the root. And she's probably just going to need to leave after killing this pink ward. Ziggs, luckily, not big enough just yet to push this wave onto tower. So she's not going to miss too much. She's staying up for another wave. Oh, shit.
While in the jungle, Lee Sin.
But he hits 6, able to kick her away.
Oh, it looks like he's trying to bait her back in, but unfortunately not able to really bait her too much. And if Ziggs can land one more Q, he might actually be able to snipe her, but does not.
Yeah, and he had to use the Satchel Charge to get there, so he didn't have the CC to disrupt her.
Yeah. Meanwhile, bottom lane, not much is going on. Jax still was pushing out that top lane. And right now, pretty calm. Ziggs getting a blue buff here from Lee Sin.
Yep. Oh, he pulls it too far away, so that's very dangerous for Lee. He's going to live, but barely.
And it looks like he's finally going to go back, and he does.
He's going to finish that Lizard Elder. He's got to have it with 3 kills. He's a little behind on farm, but...
He has 600 gold. He should have it.
Yeah, he's got it. So, yep, Lizard Elder done. That's going to be a big damage spike. It looks like Shyvana is actually going to be going Feral Flare. We'll see how this works out. We had talks about Feral Flare. It's hard to have presence when you're farming it up. However, Shyvana is, I think, the fastest. Udyr might be slightly faster.
Yeah.
But Udyr might only be faster when he double builds jungle items. So you can actually build Spirit Stone plus Razors.
Yeah.
And then Udyr just, clears a camp in 2 seconds. He, Phoenixes twice and is dead. Yeah, she has one of the highest clear times. I don't think she uses it as well as, say, a Warwick or a Master Yi, but her clear times are better, and all the free stats she gets are very good.
Yeah. And meanwhile, at top lane, looks like they're trading enough damage for
this
to
is
really
a problem.
Ryze
up
ults.
because Jax is out of mana, and Lee is here too.
Here comes a teleport from Lux, and we'll see what she decides to do with it.
Yeah, this
does land it, big damage going in, gets the kill, but Ryze does do enough damage to get recent to kill. Meanwhile, at bottom lane, big damage going down as well. And it looks like Ziggs rotates and manages to help with the kill. Well, actually, he didn't. Weird. Anyway, Shyvana comes in as well.
Yeah.
She's going to do enough damage to go down.
Yep.
Jeez.
Ziggs still had Ignite. So the Ignite on Shyvana plus just him landing all his damage is just really rough. She also missed her ult. She needed the damage off of that. So just kind of an uncoordinated team fight bottom from Blue. They got Vayne right away, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think they got Vayne, but then they kind of died, and Shiv tried to dive and didn't make anything of it. And that cost her a tremendous amount because not only is she missing farm time, Lee Sin's also just in her jungle dumping her big minions. And the best thing you can do against a Feral Flare jungler is take those big minions off of them because they have to reset the camp. It screws up their pattern. So they're trying to turbo farm, but they can't. Jax jumping on this Ryze, misses the stun.
And takes a lot of damage there from that ulting Ryze. And it looks like it's going to be enough to
Comfy's
force
back
him
up here, so are we going to do this again? Yeah, he's going to
does get the
jump,
bind.
but...
Oh, beautiful flash, though. Dodges the resonating strike, so...
I think Lee must have thought that his flash
Wave.
wasn't up,
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I think he would have just waited on the Sonic Wave because he could have walked into cripple range.
Yeah. So, meanwhile, at mid, Lux and Ziggs are still duking out, but Ziggs does have that double buff now, so he's going to be a little bit potent, but he is only at half. We'll see what happens here. We got two junglers here hanging out. Shyvana is aware of Lee Sin, but Lee Sin is not aware of her.
Yeah, she's going to get a lot of damage, and he kicks her away immediately. Lux misses the root, and that's going to be the end of this.
He does take quite a bit of damage, but I don't think she has enough to kill him with the final spark.
Yep. Lux is playing very well. I'm very impressed by it, but unfortunately, just the way the champion plays, she misses a Q and she's basically done.
Yeah.
She can do a little bit of damage, but that's about it. So yeah, she's she's putting a lot of pressure on Ziggs, but as soon as he goes back and spends some money, he should be just fine. He'll probably get Codex boots. Oh, he can just finish Athenes. That's insane.
It's good for him with tier 1 boots. It looks like Lee Sin's trying to hunt for that Lux.
She's going to have to hold that
nice
right now.
There from Shyvana. Looks like she is going to drain some sand, but gets hit by the wall. And down she goes to the Comfy, who is now 5-0. 5-0.
Yeah, she was waiting on the Flay, because Flay can actually stop her Dragon's Descent entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just ended up, taking too late. But yeah, the Lux mechanics, I'm very impressed by these Lux mechanics. They're very good. She really, knows her range and just knows her abilities and how to poke well. This is going to be a free dragon. Zyra's going to poke him down with plants, but they're actually attacking the dragon. They're helping.
Nice smite. She burned her ultimate, too.
Yeah, that's real bad. Her ult isn't going to be able to outsmite Lee Sin.
Yeah.
So, and that's a long cooldown that she's not going to have for fighting bottom. So unless they just think there aren't going to be fights bottom, I'm not on board with that decision. But hero dragon steals are a lot of fun, and they actually do swing the game pretty hard.
So it looks like Jax wants to play around with Ryze a little bit here, but Ryze is starting to get pretty potent. He does have that catalyst now, which means he's got quite a bit of sustain too.
Yeah.
And
Twitch going hard, but this isn't going to do anything.
And his tier is at 186 out of the 750, so it's starting to get stacked up a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to take a while, because he built that second, right? No, he built it first.
He built it first.
Yeah, it was his first back, but it does take a while. Now he's been back and he has a second mana item, so he can, use abilities on cooldown, basically. Just, make sure he's stacking that tier maximum, using the maximum, capped stacks. Yeah, you have to click on Shyvana to see how many stacks.
She's at 16 for Shyvana,
which is really behind for 13 minutes. You should really be aiming for about 15 minutes to get your Feral Flare stacked.
It's me.
And she's been trying to have She's been trying to have lane presence, but hasn't successfully had any. She has 0 assists and 0 kills. So she probably should have just been turbo farming, because the damage spike, just the power spike you get from finishing that Feral Flare, because it doesn't do much in the way of damage to champions until you turn it into that flare. And then it does a lot. This is a stun,
and
she ults, but
does the ult, but now she's caught a little bit out. She does manage to slowly work her way back, and it looks like she will be able to get out just fine. Lux looks like she's going to be rotating up as well. Jax jumping on the Ryze, doing quite a bit of damage there.
Yeah, Jax has a tremendous amount of burst. The problem is getting rooted. They don't follow it up, which is impressive because they had a big creep wave. I think her ult was back up for this too.
And Zyra ult does go down, but unfortunately doesn't catch anyone. Just does a little damage to the Vayne, it looked like.
Yeah, and then she dark passaged out, so the shield absorbed a lot of the damage anyways. Yeah, this top lane's actually surprisingly good, because Jax has a ton of burst if he's charged up right. Yeah. Oh, is this a dead?
And
Wait,
the red
he's going hard.
Hook, but does massive damage to Vayne, bursts her down before he can really do anything, and Thresh actually goes down as well, giving a kill actually to Zyra.
They must have thought Zyra was back or something, or they just thought they had win. They didn't count on Twitch just being all in. He's like, I'm gonna murder Vayne right now. Vayne, I think she just finished her Blade of the Rune King too. I think Twitch's blade was dead. Because Twitch bladed there, and Vayne didn't. So I think her blade must not have been finished for that fight.
Yeah, must not have been. Anyway,
and she shouldn't be fighting a Twitch with a blade when hers isn't done.
Yeah,
that's just. the damage spike on that, like, because the pieces of that item, the like 2 daggers, are so much worse than the finished item. It's absurd. Because you spend 1,000 gold for the combine, and the item is gold efficient on its own. So, like, yeah, you can't be fighting someone with a board when you don't have yours.
And it looks like Lee Sin's trying to play around in the jungle here, and it looks like he is going to get caught. Kicks Jax away immediately, who then proceeds to ward jump.
Rise is going hard.
And it looks like Lee Sin is going to go down, but he does manage to pick up Shyvana. And now Rise is in a little bit of trouble. He got caught out of position, but Ziggs comes in from the back to try and support. I don't think he's going to be able to get Lux.
Jax is walking through these minefields. Alright, this is... Yep, the flashes stun, and that's going to be the end of this fight, although Ziggs is going to get some poke on these guys as they walk out. Lux
maybe he can very low. One more Q here over the wall. Let's see if it can happen.
I don't think it's worth it. He's at half. He could actually just get bursted down by Jax.
Yeah.
Especially if Jax gets to charge up his abilities.
So incredibly close game. For 16 minutes in, there is only a 300 gold differential.
Yeah, very close. 9-9 in kills. One tower down for blue team, and that's basically bottom lane just winning very, very hard. But like blue team's bottom is winning hard. Purple team's jungler and top are really wrecking. And, you know, mid's pretty even, actually.
Yep. Pretty even.
Lux built hat first. That's weird. You don't see Athene's second item very much.
Yeah, not very often.
Lee Sin shows up, so Twitch is stealthed in, and this is going to be dangerous. He's going to get
Vayne goes for the flash in the seat here on the damage, but Zyra ultimately goes down, deters a lot of it, and the Rattata-tat-tat goes out, doing tons of damage here to Lee Sin. He manages to safeguard away, and the final spark almost took out Vayne.
Yeah, but unfortunately just kind of split the enemy team, and that's the big problem with like Lux teleporting in behind the team. Like, it's all skill shots. She just has to fire that laser and hope it hits. You know, it's pretty easy to dodge.
Yep. Meanwhile,
she's actually in danger of getting killed. Lux gets pushed. Thresh goes in, gets a play box, but it's not going to do anything. And, Rise is here.
Ziggs drops his ult, does enough damage, picks up the Lux, and looks like Purple Team is going to be able to get out with those 2 kills fairly safely.
Yeah, Comfy really making great plays there. Blue pushing too hard. Dragon's up in 15 seconds. They know it. They're setting up. They're just going to hang out and do this. But yeah, Blue Team kind of pushing too hard without pressure or support anywhere else. Because Shyvana couldn't pressure Ziggs mid at all. And, you know, and Jax isn't pressuring top enough. So they can just be like, yeah, we can send 4 people and murder your bottom.
So Ziggs looks like he's going to actually take this mid turret, and that will actually put the goal advantage actually pretty firmly in Purple Team's favor, especially with this dragon.
Yeah, this dragon that's dead any second now. Yep. And yeah, so Ziggs, he is going to get this tower. He's going to walk up and just like auto attack will kill it. Jax has no mana again, so his pressure is going to be gone. So yeah, Purple Team's looking good, and Jax scales very well, but he bought double Dorans to be powerful in lane, and Rise scales really well too, and Rise has better items at this point. With that Glacial Shroud, he's looking very good. He'll probably finish Frozen Heart before finishing Seraph's.
Yeah.
Because I don't think his Seraph's is going to be charged if he just rushed that. And like, Archangel Staff is good, but it's not impressive. It really needs to be Seraph's Embrace to be a really
Seraph's is way better, and it does increase his tankiness by a ton.
Yeah, especially once he has that Frozen Heart. It's so much health. Yeah. Good Lux Laser trying to steal blue, but a little bit early. You know, and that's pretty reasonable. She doesn't have cooldown reduction yet, so it's actually going to be there for a while. Yeah, it was blind.
So she saw him come out.
Yeah, she had a ward, and she watched Ziggs walk over, so she just sparked, but it wasn't low enough.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Her cooldowns aren't that long.
Jax could go for the Rise
again. He works, but doesn't get the stun on him, so nothing's going to come of this. He really needs that stun to land.
And those Qs are starting to really chunk this Jax, but he does have that Blade of the Rune King, which does have quite a bit of sustain, and it looks like Rise wants to pick a fight, even though I don't think he really wants to.
Yeah, I think he just feels like he's pretty safe because he knows Lee Sin is here. This is going to be a dead Shyvana.
Big damage. Ziggs ultimate goes down, and it's actually enough to pick up Shyvana very quickly before she actually Dragons.
And Jax just takes a tower hit, but he was dead. Like, Ziggs was cutting him off. He was too low enough. He wasn't getting anything out of this.
Ziggs is too much of a zoner to be able to escape. He's got too many.
Yeah, with him having a lead on you and you being that low, the best thing you can do is jump to Ziggs. But with him being full health, Jax can't burst him down with being that low. So.
So it looks like Comfy 2014 is going to push it out on this top lane. Take that turret. And that's
this tower is going to go down.
They're
going to take a little bit of damage from it, but not a lot. Oh, didn't even take a turret hit. Is Lee Sin building damage? Is that why? Yeah, he is. Okay, I was like, yeah, Lee Sin did way more damage to that turret than I expected, but he has like Last Whisper parts there.
Yeah.
I can see a Last Whisper out of him if he's this far ahead, but it's a little greedy. But that second damage item really just makes Lee Sin a monster.
Ooh, a nice hook there.
Yeah, Thresh goes deep. I'm not sure if this is good.
And the final spark does go down, only hitting Rise, it looks like. And other than that, it looks like they're all going to be able to get away. Lee Sin there to play a bouncer in case somebody decides to overextend.
Yep.
But
yeah, another issue with Lux, despite it being a skill shot, and it's a low cooldown, which is nice. It's hard to hit, and it doesn't actually do that much damage.
It only does a lot of damage if you already have hit him with another build.
Yeah, I mean, that's proccing her passive, which is good, but even then, it's still just, like, not that impressive of an ult.
No.
I think Ziggs ult does significantly more damage if you're in the middle of it. And, I think it's a little bit harder to hit the Ziggs ult, so a little bit more risk, more reward, but a lot of her kit is kind of in that ult.
Yeah. Twitch just trying to clear this out at bottom lane, and it looks like he's doing all right with that.
Looks like unfortunately, Bork Zeal makes it very hard to farm.
Yeah.
You're seeing it. He didn't have enough damage to kill to kill those creeps under tower, basically. So that's really rough. The one problem with building Bork is it doesn't have a lot of built-in AD. It's really bad at last hitting creeps.
So bottom lane is going to have a 3-man push here. Shyvana is there, but keep in mind, Comfy is just sitting
there too.
Over the wall.
Oh,
manages to land the Q, but he's out of range for the resonating.
He was in range if he went with it immediately, but I don't think he wanted to because he didn't have enough vision. That was a scary Q, especially into a Zyra who's gonna root you immediately.
So blue team this time to rotate to this mid turret, and Ziggs is going to clear it out before they can really do much, so they decide to back away.
Lux almost hits a max range bind on that Ziggs, and that might have been him with Jax and Shyvana there. Not positive, would have been close. Lee Sin's continuing to counter jungle with Shyvana. 23 minutes in, she still has 5 stacks to go.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's like 5 stacks to go. So that's a problem because 5 stacks is a wave, and when the enemy's in your jungle, that's a longer time. So you can do a wave in about like 50 seconds in Shyvana, maybe a little bit faster. But if the enemy's constantly counter jungling you and you have to constantly be helping your team like she is, you're just not stacking that item. You're just not being relevant. And like first item, Pharaoh Flare, not being finished. It's really hard to do anything because while she gets a lot of free stats, she needs an offensive item, and Pharaoh Flare is not an offensive item until it's transformed from reels into the flare.
So Rise is headed back. Let's see what he decides to buy with this. I think it's going to be that Frozen Heart, which is massive cooldown reduction for him. That's probably going to put him pretty darn close to
he should be 40%. Most, if he's buying Frozen Heart, he has 20% base.
No, 30%. He's only at 30%. So he actually doesn't have any cooldown reduction in his runes.
Yeah. Oh, because he's running 0921.
Yep.
And he's not running runes because he didn't want to lose to Jax. You actually do need to do that. So he's probably running like mana blues. You run like flat mana blues and then like armored.
Yeah.
You can run some MR in there too. In any case, he wanted to make sure that he could trade well with Jax and did so. But that's okay because if you get a blue buff, then you're 40%.
Yeah.
Or if you buy a blue pot. So yeah, being at 30% is fine actually because blue pots are extremely cost effective, and and that way you can just like skimp and get your cooldown from other stats. Looks like purple team will secure their blue. They still have a lead.
Dragon is back up.
There's going to be a fight over Dragon.
And it looks like blue team
is converging. Rise is up top, but his teleport is up, so he can get here. They don't have vision on Twitch yet, which is rough for them.
So Jax is coming around the side. Twitch looks like he is going to try and ambush in here. And Shyvana, she is actually not close enough to really contest into this fight, which is a slight problem.
Fight. They're just pushing back and forth. She needs to be there right now, though, because Rise is pushing top. There is a clock on this blue team's engage, and here they go.
There goes the
Stun.
engage. Zyra goes for the root. There's the ultimate and big damage, enough to take out Thresh and push out the rest of the purple team. Blue team now has firm grasp over this Dragon Pit. And we'll see what happens here. Ziggs burned his ultimate, so he doesn't have
Bane
the ability
stuns
to
Lux into the wall.
Lee Sin hits the steal, drops the
die.
ultimate, goes down, but now it looks like Bane is going to be able to pick up some kills here if she flashes the chase, but she doesn't quite get it. Ziggs does pick up Zyra, but now he's on the run, and the rat is chasing and picks it up with the Bork.
Not Bork, Contaminator.
Oh, Contaminate, yeah. The Venom stacks.
Yep.
So. And
But
meanwhile,
keep in mind, that was 5v4. Went 2 for 2. They got Dragon but lost 2 people. And they got a turret out of it. So they got Dragon and 1 kill for 2 deaths. And the tower, that's way ahead. And the gold lead shows that they got an extra 1,000 gold out of that. Oh wow, if Ryze can get this blue, it looks like he's got it. Wow. That's huge, because that maxes his cooldown reduction. And Ryze's power actually spikes really hard from like 30% to 40%, because he has that 1 second flat reduction on all his abilities.
Yeah.
So, like, his abilities coming up more means he gets more flat reduction on all of his abilities. You know, it's just like massive scaling. It's almost like AD scaling level. This Jax can't do it. Look, Jax goes down to half.
Yeah, from like a couple Qs.
Yep, from a single non-ulted Ryze combo. That's really rough. Yeah, like look, he walked in the lane and now has to go back. And Ryze, you know, it looks like Ryze is gonna go Dark Tracks, just to make sure that he doesn't get CC locked by Jax and Lux and Zyra. And it's the Zyra ult as well, or not the Zyra ult.
There's also the
Zyra
from
root.
Twitch. So.
Yep. So yeah, Merc Treads are pretty good here. He does finish them, gets him the extra move speed too, and he has that blasting wand. He is almost to that Saracen Grace. As soon as that's finished, he's probably going to be unstoppable. This looks very, very good for Comfy. Because while they only have a 4,000 gold lead, their scaling is very, very good. Because Shiv's out of the jungle. She didn't get a lot of top farm. And she finally has Flare done, you know, 25 minutes into the game. But she only has Sunfire Cape on top of that. So she's not that tanky. She doesn't have any of the, like, really good tanky items. Your Randuin's, your Banshee's Veil, Spirit Visage.
Yeah, and she really needs to have those damage items, just because that ultimate does provide a lot of tank, but without the damage she hit, does very little to her team. Ryze forced a flash over the wall there. He was afraid of the Jax. But,
Lux bush camped him, but actually misses the root on him,
so
which was pretty rough. That would have been much rougher. They might have been able to kill him through his flash if she had hit her combo. Yeah. But again, Lux, gotta hit all your abilities.
Ryze putting out some nice damage, bringing Jax back down to 2/3. So
Shiv. Oh, jump over the wall, very good. This is a dead
Ryze. He burns his ultimate, does enough damage to keep himself alive for a little bit. But Shyvana picks up the kill with one final on attack, and Ziggs picks up Jax with a nice kick to him.
Ziggs walks in. Lee Sin's missed a couple of Qs in this fight, though. Otherwise, it would have gone way worse. If he'd hit them, this fight would be over in favor of, Comfy.
Misses yet another one.
Yep.
And I think
he's just zoning at this point. He doesn't really want to hit him out.
Oh, snap. The Wreck comes in from the back, though, and picks up Ziggs well. Actually, Shyvana picks the kill with an auto attack, and it looks like Comfy's going to go down as well. And this gold advantage is slowly getting chipped away. Bane comes in, gets snapped up, though.
He's going to die.
Does a nice tumble, almost deters it, and there goes the Ace for only 2 kills.
Too deep, lingered too long. And Lee Sin missed those Qs. He lives and dies by those skill shots. So, that was really rough. Missing all those Qs, giving them enough time to show up. And Jax is teleporting. They're going for Baron. I think they can get it. Lee Sin isn't up for 14 seconds. Yeah, they have Twitch, Jax. Lux doesn't do a lot of damage. Shiv with Flare is going to do great damage along with her E ability.
Yeah, they just got to make sure that they position correctly.
Those Lux shields are going to be invaluable.
Yeah.
So much help. Yep.
There it goes. And Comfy, I don't think is even aware of it.
Yeah, they didn't ward over the back. Ryze is sitting in this bush. Sees it now. Oh god, but Twitch is on top of him.
And he gets sparked. So 2 assists and the kill goes to blue team.
And the gold is within 1,000 gold of itself now. Blue team has picked it back up. You get sloppy around Baron. And this. You want to see how to lose games? Get sloppy around Baron.
Or in the last 20 minutes of the game, or once you get past the 40-minute mark, that's when one sloppy mistake can cost you the game.
Oh
even if
yeah,
you're
once
winning.
it's past there, but it's like a sloppy mistake anywhere. But here, like the 20 to 35 minute mark,
Yeah.
The Baron dance is relevant. But if you're like trying to go for picks or something like that, and you get sloppy, oh wow,
He's going
beautiful
for a
lantern.
but he goes into 3 and he's like, oh god, get me out of here.
Twitch is going to be a problem
Vayne
here. That
is
exhaust on
open.
Jax is what they need.
Ziggs
Final
comes in
Spark
for
misses.
support, but unfortunately not really able to come in too much. And Rise wants to come and play as well, but oh man, Thresh takes a big Lucent Singularity to the face. So
Yeah, Final Spark just got kind of like fired in there, but didn't hit anything, so that was kind of unfortunate.
yeah. And Twitch now with that Phantom Dancer and the Last Whisper, he has a lot of damage.
Yep, his core items are done. And he's going to go buy, I think he has a bunch more. 617, 240 creeps. Picks up a BF sword. I would not be surprised to see Infinity Edge here.
Yep. That's what I would go for.
Could be BT. Could be BT. That second lifesteal item has gotten very popular on ADs. Especially the squishy ones without an escape. Because once you get like that massive amount of lifesteal, it actually makes it almost impossible for bruisers to duel you.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they've popped all their abilities, you do so much more damage and you steal so much more health that they can't out-damage your lifesteal. So we'll see. It could be either. He might just, and it's very possible you just wait. If you go back and you can buy an Infinity Edge, you buy it. If you go back and you can't, you just buy the BT.
Don't be doing the Dragon Dance here, but they did start it, but then they realized, oh crap, they're coming, so they decided to back away from it.
They do have a pink up in that bush. Yeah, Ziggs is sitting on a pink.
But they
So that gives them some protection against Twitch. They have a couple down, but they really have to be worried about Twitch just stealthing onto them, especially with this Baron buff.
C8 still has this Baron buff, so we do have to be very, very careful with these fights because those sustained engages are going to be really rough. There's the Lux combo.
Yeah, misses most of the combo. Jett gets knocked out of the air by the flame,
Big
but Thresh goes
Shyvana
down.
ultimate comes in, moves them all up. Zyra drops her ultimate and trying to zone as many people as possible, but Vayne gets taken down there by the Twitch. Or reverse that. Vayne took out the Twitch.
Ziggs gets caught by plants.
all sorts of
Lux
death all
chases, Lux chases Lee Sin down. So we're at 2 for 2, but
And
it doesn't
now
look
Rise
good
is
for Shyvana.
dueling, but he does
Oh, wow.
go down
Yep.
in that 3v1 scenario. It just
Yeah, he
doesn't
got
quite have the
pincered. He was
damage.
really far out, just kind of like tunnel visioning. So, yeah, a little, I thought Thresh died, but he actually managed to get out. But it might have been better if he had died because he got out, but the team didn't have anyone staying in to keep them busy. So, and they probably shouldn't have had been that far deep. They probably should have just let Dragons go and poked them instead of kind of like looking for a fight because they got pincered. And with the enemy having Baron buff, that long-term poke type engage is really, really bad because not only do you have that stats, that health regen, it becomes so much effective health.
Yeah. So Shyvana also now finishing that Spirit Visage is going to give her a little bit more sustain now, but she is still working on it, but she is trying to cut into that gold disadvantage that they were at, and they're actually in the lead now.
Yeah, they're a couple thousand gold up. This is a great game, back and forth. Both teams have the ability to carry really, really hard, and we're kind of seeing how Lee Sin kind of falls off. And that might be part of the problem. He got a lot of kills.
Yep.
And you'd much rather have the kills on anyone else. You'd rather see a 2-5-9 Lee Sin than you would like an 8-5-3 Lee Sin.
Yeah.
Because that way people that scale much, much better with the gold get the gold.
Yeah, because Rise, if he had gotten that little bit of extra gold, he would probably have his Banshees done then, and then he would also have probably a Void Staff.
He might build a Bissell. Bissell's pretty good on Rise.
Yeah, he might.
We'll see. I'm surprised. Yeah, he really needs that Void Staff. Because Lux has Athene's. Shiv has her Spirit Visage and Merc Treads. There's a Merc Treads on Jax as well, but he doesn't have any other MR aside from his ultimate. But yeah, there's a fair amount of magic resist, so that Void Staff will help him out a lot.
And
Because with Jax and Shiv being up in his face, he basically kind of needs to focus them in most team fights. So he really needs to be able to burn through them quick, and Void Staff is the best thing for that.
yeah, and it looks like Ziggs is going to be going for that Zhonya's, and Randuin's just got finished on Lee Sin, so that's going to provide a pretty substantial spike in his tankiness and ability to initiate these team fights. So
Oh yeah, his pickaxe and longsword turned into Hydra.
Yeah.
But yeah, he built a second damage item, and I don't think that was that good. Like, the problem with Lee Sin is if you build that second damage item, you're so squishy.
Yeah.
And if it's not a CC item, like, Randuin's is so good because, like, kick into a Randuin's in the team is so much disruption. And you need that disruption because you can't really stay there for a long time. And it's really hard to hit Qs like this late in the game with team fights. So, yeah, it's, I don't know, like, sometimes you build it when you're ahead, but, like, every time I've built that second damage item on Lee Sin when I've been ahead, I've been savagely punished for it. And it looks kind of like they're getting punished, too. Shiv's walking in. I'm not sure if this is going to do anything.
A little bit of damage. Rise there, trying to poke back a little bit, takes the lantern, and it looks like we're going to have a little disengage. Yep. Vayne coming up. Looks like Jax is
pushing
going to split push and then probably try and
Rise has his teleport up, so it'll be interesting to see if he goes cut off Jax or if he stays here at mid.
Baron is back up in another 30 seconds, so we will have that under contention.
And Purple does not have vision of it at all. So Comfy, they have some vision control in their jungle, which is very important, but they don't have vision control in their river at all. So they do have to worry about that, like that blue team just like rush Baron, especially if they clear some of the wards in the jungle. Shiv just walked over one, so they know exactly where they are. She's probably going to try and fight Rise, but I don't know. Vayne went back. She finished an item. Yeah, she has her Banshee's Veil done, and along with the BF sword, as well as the Core 3. So, catch on Twitch. Is he dead?
And down he goes, and boom! Comfy gets to execute there with the resonating strike. Vayne is now cleaning house, takes out the Zyra, but Jax jumps on her, and nice randomness is going to be enough to slow him up a little bit here.
Yeah,
Vayne just doing the kiting as much as possible, getting away from these. Let's see if she can get one more tumble, but goes down to the Lux Shyvana combo. With
and Rise just wasn't in that fight at all. Like, it was basically 4v5. And Lux missed some Qs, but it was enough. Because Rise wasn't there.
And down goes the ultimate from Ziggs. Rise and Ziggs doing just enough to bring him low enough to pick up the kill with the ultimate. Rise is now chasing as much as possible. And this is why I actually really like Boots of Fury on Rise, because he loves them when he's chasing like this.
Yep. Unfortunately, he's deep under the tower, but with that Frozen Heart, he doesn't care. And they're going to get this tower. Great play by Lee Sin. He got in there again. He was low, but he managed to get in there, get enough damage, and distract them enough, get that slow on, so Rise could really put pressure on them.
And Purple Team took some big targets there, but they should head back here very soon, just so that they can do that, contest the Baron if it were to come up.
Because they could lose this Baron rush. Thresh is going to be in danger too if he tries to kill these pink wards. He's warding Baron. If he comes back out and tries to... Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. This is dangerous. But luckily, blue team's all bottom? That's weird. Purple team has a ward? So they've seen Zyra. I think they saw Shiv, but I'm not positive. And they know Jax is bottom, so...
Yeah. And Twitch is coming.
Twitch is going to murder this Thresh. He is so dead.
Takes big damage, tries to flash it. Lee Sin's coming. And down he goes, and now it's going to be a 5v4 at this Baron pit. All it takes is Lux to get there, and it's going to be a problem.
Thresh burned everything and still couldn't get out. You can't be like, if you don't have pink wards down, and Twitch could be on you, you can't be there, because he's going to do that. You're a support. You literally cannot interact with him. He is going to stealth on top of you and murder you. He did build that Infinity Edge, so it is massive, massive damage. Because getting those crits through that rat-a-tat-tat, you can just shred an entire team. So now we're kind of back to if they can get these fights out in the open versus those jungle fights.
And it looks like there's going to be an ambush here. Or what's going on with this? Are they all grouped up?
No, they started it. Yeah, it's halfway done, but they have vision. Yeah, Purple Team has vision. I don't like this at all. Trying to outsmite a Lee Sin. Oh, they're all going to get hit by that. So much damage.
And now they're going to back off. They realize they're pretty low. Purple Team is going to rotate in. And Rise actually takes some pretty solid damage. And now in this 5v4 situation, Thresh is coming. But he is a ways away still. Lee Sin goes in for the hard engage. Kicks the Jax back in. Zyra goes down to the Ziggs. Jax goes down, and all of a sudden, people are dying left and right. Rise goes down to Zyra, and Shyvana picks up the Lee Sin. So,
good Lux ult, but it wasn't enough to kill Ziggs. That's it's a big problem. Just need a little bit more out of her, because she had a lot of stuff that fight. She did really, really well, but it's still they need just a little bit more impact. And I think that's kind of that champion choice. Just why Lux isn't showing up on the top tier stage. She doesn't bring enough. Even if she hits everything, it's almost just not enough.
Yeah. Blue team gets a dragon there. Nice hook there, and Vayne comes in on the side. Nice condemn. Should be able to get Shyvana, but she did.
She had dragon
Dragon
back up,
descent
so.
there across the wall. So nice play by Shyvana.
Great plays by both of them on chaining their CC. He hits the death sentence into the guaranteed condemn, and he waits to flay. He maybe should have sat on the flay and gotten ahead of her to see if he can interrupt the dragon's descent. Yeah. It's tough. It's a split-second play, because unlike the J4 dash, which is easy to hit because you see the standard come down.
Yeah.
So you see the standard come down and you play. But with her, it just goes off. So you have to guess when she's going to fire it, because you can't react. Once it's going off, it's too late for you to push the button. But yeah, so this game's surprisingly even.
Surprisingly
3,000 gold.
even. Yep, 3,000 gold. Baron fight is going to be happening here once again. Zyra's doing what she can here to provide some vision for the blue team. And it looks like they're going to try and clear this out a little bit. Blue team is slowly converging. So is purple. The Baron dance will be happening here in just a few seconds.
Yeah, and they're running into this Ryze problem. He scales too hard.
Yep. Looks like
he walked at the enemy team. He got hit by Zyra Root, Zyra Ult. Lux.
He gonna miss it.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. He should get Void Staff for his last time.
He has to get Void Staff, and it's an Amp Tome, so I can't imagine it's anything else.
Sonya's
isn't awful, but it's not what he wants to be doing.
I know.
Yeah, it's Void Staff.
And Ziggs, it looks like he's going to be going for that Lichbane here soon. And Purple Team actually started the Baron.
Yeah, that's just taking some poke they don't need to take. They need to get a catch. They can't rush this Baron down fast enough. So yeah, and they're winning this division game, which is very good for them because Twitch is a powerhouse. We have some damage
Twitch
going on.
Twitch is backdooring right now. The mid turn takes that down.
And blue team's trying to keep them from rotating. So great play by blue team. They're just like, hey, we're gonna have our AD go take an objective while you're dancing. Yeah. And not much they can do about it. However, you're gonna run out of inner towers, and that's tough to do on inhibitor towers.
Yes.
So it's great play. Take some free gold, but I'm not sure that strategy is going to work to finish the game, to close out an inhibitor.
The purple team trying to push out here once again so they can get comfortable in that Baron pit, but unfortunately they're taking a lot of poke right now. But blue team looks like they're going to head back for a little bit, and it looks like purple team is too.
Twitch went back already. He finished fifth item. His Banshee's Veil is done. Yep. So Twitch is basically fully built. We'll see if he trades his boot into something. He might swap it into a second Dancer.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Yeah. Or a Static Shiv, probably the Dancer. But we'll see. The boots are good on him, especially without having an escape, but the Dancer doesn't lose him a ton of movement speed, and it gives him a tremendous damage burst.
Yeah, and Zyra's starting to get some pretty substantial items too. She does have that hat along with the Liandry's, which means she actually has a decent amount of AP for her support.
Yeah.
While Thresh, he's got some major items, but he still needs a little bit of work to go. I assume he is going for a Randuin's or a Sunfire.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm a fan of the hat. She scales fine with AP, but not amazingly well. And a more techie item like a Zhonya's, something that would give her more defensive stats, or even a Rylai's. Rylai's is very good on her as well because all her plants slow. Just a little bit more tech and survivability. So Rylai's gives her a bunch of health. Just because she's been getting blown up really, really early in fights. And if she just survived a couple more seconds, she could get another wave of spells off, and those roots will just be, super relevant against the likes of Lee Sin. If she can hit it on Vayne. Oh, teleport coming in.
Baron Dance is on, and looks like Lux is going to try and come in to support.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They double teleported. They need to get something out of this immediately because Ryze is still bottom. He's pushing the crap out of bottom.
And it looks like they're trying to go for that Ziggs. Blue team deciding not to chase too far. It looks like they are going to try and engage this Baron, but it's dangerous. Lee Sin is there.
It's warded, and Ryze is just going to keep pushing. The clock is on. This is a split push problem. Ryze is out split pushing the crap. Ryze is teleporting in.
Lux throws out the ultimate. It's not going to be enough. Lee Sin goes for the Q, manages to do it. Does he steal the Baron? No. Shyvana gets it. There's the Dragon's Descent.
But
big damage from Vayne. going through here, and Jax is running away, manages to leap strike into the Ziggs, picks up that kill. Shyvana and
we're at
the
just
Rat
2
are
for 2
still
right
going
now,
for
but
it.
Vayne is
2
very
for
low.
2. Vayne is
They're
actually
going in. I think they're going to get this. Rise concentrates Twitch. Yep.
Oh, that is so bad for this purple team. Comfy, they just gave up so many kills. This is going to probably be 2. Well, they have Vayne still up.
The Vayne is at full, but that Baron buff to Twitch and Jax, my money's on it.
I might even say 2, but
Yeah, 2 is a lot. It's going to take him a while, but Thresh is 25 seconds.
Yeah.
These towers are going to go down quick. Jax plus Twitch at this late in the game.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, thunk, thunk, thunk.
I wonder if they're just going to go for the Nexus turn.
It's going to take too long for creeps to get there, and it's also dangerous. I think they're just going to take 2 inhibs.
Yeah.
Jax is just going to tank it. Oh, Twitch is going to tank it. I guess he lifesteals. Oh, they're going to swap it. They're not going to get this inhib. Thresh is going to be up.
Thresh is up.
Oh, they
Here
are.
comes the home guard.
Here comes the home guard. 2v2. Can Thresh and Vayne.
Oh, and down goes Jax. He gets hooked and he tries to get out. Wow. Actually, he is not down.
Oh, wow.
Vayne swapped targets too early.
That Infinity Edge Twitch is carrying too hard.
Yep. Well, she swapped targets too early. She should have gotten the kill because that little bit of burst was probably enough to take it out. So, unfortunate. Yeah. Unfortunate. Which means Comfy 2014 is in a little bit of trouble with 2 inhibitors down. That Baron buff still active on nearly everyone.
Yeah, 2 inhibitors down, Baron buff up, and Vayne dead for another 40 seconds. I mean, we're at 46 minutes in. We're looking at 50 to 60 second death timers here.
Yep.
You can't die like that. You have to get a kill.
Yep.
You have to kill somebody. Otherwise, it's just like, blue team is just taking a dragon, but they're going to take a dragon and then they're going to rotate bottom, and this is...
It's going to be a strong
they're just
push.
going back. They're just going back. If they overextend and get caught, but they're not going to.
Rise isn't anywhere near, yeah.
Yep, they see Rise top, so they can put some pressure, but they went with the back, so they didn't get to the tower before Vayne was up.
Yep.
Vayne will be up and fully powered by the time they get to this tower, so we're going to see a 5v5, but they have Baron.
She did decide to go with those home guard boots, and Twitch actually decided to sell his and go with the Zephyr. So
yeah, okay, we have the Zephyr. That's actually very good. The cripple and the Randuins. Yeah, I mean it's a great item, but the cripple, like the CC reduction is actually excellent. I don't know why I said second dancer. It's obviously Zephyr.
Yeah, and Zyra did get that Void Staff, so she has a little bit more damage now. And Lux trying to get the pick here on Rise, who should probably
full combos Rise, and it does have his health. So
that's okay. Her ult has a short cooldown at this stage.
Oh yeah.
And Shyvana goes to the Nifty. Jax takes out Ziggs so fast. Shyvana picks up another kill just using that Baron buff, and Jax tearing through people. Rise goes down without too much of a fight. Vayne manages to escape, but Comfy 2014 is going to be knocked out into the 4th place, and the victor is going to be C8 now.
Yep. And we got to see an excellent game. Lux performed very well, but really, Twitch. That's really most of what you have to say about this game.
Yeah.
You know, they all played well. But Twitch. Holy crap, did he carry.
Yeah, he did.
Real hard. They played well, they worked well together, but they just could not deal with that Twitch. Multiple times, he's just like, I'm going to murder. I'm going to murder. And you can't do anything about it. Rise wasn't able to kill him fast enough. He wasn't able to kill him through that lifesteal.
So yeah, we're going to go to break here one more time. And when we're back, we're going to have that championship game between Xanark and Apes versus Girls Jade.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys on the other side.